Okay, let's cut through the myths and get to the real, sometimes shocking story of the Crusades. These were not just simple religious wars, but complex events that shaped the course of history in ways that are still felt today. Picture this. It's the late 11th century. Europe is a mess, everyone's fighting everyone, and religion? It's basically the internet of the time. It connects everyone, but also sparks endless arguments. The social and political landscape is chaotic, with power struggles and territorial disputes rampant. Then, in 1095, the Pope Urban II stands up and says, hey, let's stop fighting each other for a bit and go take Jerusalem back from the Muslims. And boom, the First Crusade is on. This call to arms was not just about reclaiming a city, it was about uniting a fractured Europe under a common cause. Tens of thousands of people, not just knights but peasants, women, even kids, start marching thousands of miles. This was a mass movement, a migration of sorts, driven by faith, desperation, and the promise of salvation and adventure. The journey is brutal. Starvation, disease, bandits, and yes, some pretty horrific violence along the way. Many never made it to their destination, succumbing to the harsh realities of medieval travel. Honestly, the first wave was more like a chaotic pilgrimage than a military campaign. It was disorganized, with little planning or resources, yet driven by a fervent belief in their cause. But by 1099, against all odds, they reached Jerusalem. The Crusaders captured the city in a siege that's legendary for its brutality. The streets ran red with blood, and the city was left in ruins. For the people inside, it's a nightmare. The siege was a horrific event, with civilians caught in the crossfire, suffering unimaginable horrors. But for Europe, it's hailed as a miracle. The capture of Jerusalem was seen as a divine victory, a sign that God was on their side. Here's the twist. The Crusades weren't just about religion. Sure, reclaiming Holy Land was the headline, but beneath the surface there were layers of political intrigue and personal ambition. But underneath, it was about power, land, and loot. The Crusades offered a chance for social mobility, for gaining wealth and status that was otherwise unattainable. Kings and knights wanted titles and riches. Merchants saw business opportunities. The opening of new trade routes promised exotic goods and lucrative deals. Even the church wanted to boost its influence. The Crusades were a way to extend its reach and consolidate its power across Europe. And it didn't stop with one crusade. Over the next 2 centuries, there were at least 8 major crusades, and loads of smaller ones. Sometimes crusaders fought Muslims, other times they turned on each other, other times they attacked fellow Christians or even Jews, leaving chaos across Europe and the Middle East. The violence and betrayal left deep scars that would last for generations. The Crusades left a lasting mark. They opened up trade routes, brought back new foods and ideas, and honestly, stirred up centuries of mistrust between different cultures and religions. The cultural exchanges, though fraught with conflict, also led to a blending of knowledge and traditions. So, what really happened in the Crusades? They weren't some epic good versus evil battle like in the movies. They were complex, with motives that were as varied as the people who participated in them. They were messy, complicated, and driven by way more than just faith. The reality was a tangled web of ambition, greed, and genuine belief. Next time someone says, the Crusades were all about religion, you'll know the truth is way more shocking. It's a story of human nature, in all its glory and its darkness. If you want more untold stories from history, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to uncover, and we're just getting started.